Hi friends, so most of you have seen my massive freezer cooking day that I did almost exactly 1 month ago today, and I'm here to update you on how it went. The good, the bad, and the how did that even happen? Okay, to start off with, I feel like I haven't even cooked in a month. Pretty much haven't. It has been so amazing. We have been extremely busy as always, but even more so lately because I did back-to-back craft shows. Those of you that do shows or trade shows of any kind, you know the struggle. It's a lot. My oldest has had drama club play practice and getting ready for a play, and they did that play. And my youngest has started baseball, and we're into the end of the year school stuff, field days, field trips. It's been crazy, and I cannot tell you how thankful I have been to have a completely stocked freezer. I think the best way to do this is just to tell you like what really worked, some little tips and tricks, what didn't, and to go through the things that I made really quickly and tell you if that recipe or that type of item froze well, how I liked it, did that work, did it not, and what I'm going to do next. First, I will say my freezer cooking day itself, it went so much faster because I had everything planned out. I had all my groceries, I had everything lined out on our big farmhouse table. I had it all ready, I had our pans, you name it, I had it ready to go, and that saved me a ton of time the actual day. Second, I will say that absolutely nothing freezer burned. Now, it was only in there a maximum of a month because literally it's been like 1 month since I did this. Most of the things I either put in freezer quality Ziploc bags, or I put in those aluminum pans that I showed you in my video, and I wrap them in aluminum foil and then I wrap them in saran wrap. And honestly, nothing freezer burnt. Everything tasted absolutely great. I was impressed. As far as the bad, I don't have anything bad to say. I mean, really, it all worked out. There are a few recipes that I'll change or won't do again, and I'll get into that. But overall, it's great. Why haven't I done this for years? I was gonna leave this to the end, but I hate watching videos that you have to watch all the way to the end to get the actual punchline. So here it is. The one thing that I still don't understand. Okay, so here it is. I knew going in that I would save money because we wouldn't be eating out as much. And we did. We didn't eat out hardly at all the whole month, which was great. I think that we ended up going just like after Connor's play just to celebrate and like a couple things like that. But literally we didn't eat out at all. That was fantastic. So I definitely saved a ton of money there. What I didn't expect was my grocery bill. What would you think if you were making all of these home cooked meals, you had all of these things that you were going to do, you weren't going to be eating out as much, what would you think that would happen to your grocery budget? It would go up, right? It didn't. And I'm not real sure what. There's a few factors I think that went into that, and let me tell you. So the first time that I went over my grocery budget. We are a family of 4, and we try to budget $125 a week for groceries. I go over it a lot. Okay, so the first week that I did this, I spent, first, back up, we get paid, like I get paid every other week, my husband gets paid every other week, they're on opposite weeks. Not that that matters. But anyway, when I get cash out, because we're doing the Dave Ramsey thing, I get $250, and that is our grocery budget for 2 weeks. Okay? So sometimes I go once a week. Sometimes I try just to go one big shopping trip and then as needed. So the first time I went, I spent pretty much my grocery budget. Like, just a little bit under that $250, but I think I spent like $230. So I was like, oh, well, there's my entire grocery budget for 2 weeks, but I'm thinking I have 30 meals. It's gonna be fine, you know? So I was over the first week. After that, I really haven't grocery shopped. Like, I spent the first 2 weeks budget, but then I should have had another 2 weeks budget, and I pretty much spent like $25, $30, I think maybe $40 a week. Like, that's for fresh stuff, milk, I buy bottled water, so water, fresh sides, fresh vegetables for sides and salads and things, but that was it. So I saved about $150 over the course of a month on my grocery bill. And yet we ate at home every single night. I don't get it. So what happened? What I really think happened is every other week or every week, depending on how I did my grocery shopping, I would go and do a massive grocery shopping trip for that week. You know, everything we needed, you know, top to bottom list. And I almost always went over. Okay, so because I only needed a few things, I was able to stick more to my list because I wasn't going up and down every aisle thinking, oh, we need another box of fruit snacks. I'm addicted to fruit snacks. Yeah. Anyway, I love them. Don't judge. So we didn't buy the extras. And I think that is a big part of it. And so I'm not in the store. And when I am in the store, I'm in and out because I just need lettuce, or I just need, you know, salad stuff, or I just need milk. My little one especially drinks a lot of milk, and he eats a lot of cereal. He likes it for snack. So we go through a lot of milk, things like that. Other than that, that's really all we bought was fresh ingredients. Second thing that I think that happened is that I didn't waste any food. This is a big deal. Now, I try to be very conscious about using up things, but for example, when we have tacos, there's always, I shred my own cheese, which I think is a big thing. You should look up why you should shred your own cheese. Shred your own cheese. But I shred my own cheese, and there's always like a little bit left. Not a lot, but a little bit. And so I think that when I was making these meals, we would always have this like little bit of cheese that was left over that didn't get, you know, I put it in the refrigerator and I'd forget to date it or whatever, it would go bad. And so you're always throwing to buy just a little bit, not a lot, but it adds up. And I think when I'm making all of these meals, if I had a little bit of cheese, or just using that as an example of, you know, it could be any ingredient, I put it in the next meal. Like, I made sure that it all got used up. So there was a lot less waste. A third thing that I think that helped save my grocery budget was lunches. Jacob and I usually end up bringing some kind of TV dinner or frozen burrito or something just on the go for lunch. Because we had all this food and because the meals were pretty decent size, we almost always had leftovers. So a lot of times for lunch, we just had leftovers. That saved a ton of money on our lunch thing. I don't know when the last time I bought a frozen item for lunch was, which is good because one of the reasons we're doing this is to eat less processed food, and that helped. So all that said, I think that all of that added up to why I saved $150 by freezer cooking, not including restaurants, because we were eating out at least once, sometimes twice a week because we were so busy. You go to ball practice, you do this, you do that. Let's just grab a hamburger, let's just grab pizza, let's just grab something. And you're spending $40 even though it's fast food, and that adds up. And you do that twice a week, that's $80. It just adds up, it just adds up, it just adds up. And so I have no idea. I haven't even looked at, I want to go back through and compare our budgets from a month that we didn't do freezer cooking and the month that we did, and see just how much we saved, because I know it's going to be a lot. I already know it's $150 for the grocery side. It's going to be a lot for the eating out as well. Okay, now I'm gonna quickly go over what I made. Did it work? Did it not? What I would do different. Okay, first thing is I made a bunch of pizzas. Let me look here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 large pizzas, and 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 small, personal size pizzas. They worked great. I bought pre-made pizza dough. Total grace here. I would have loved to have made my own pizza dough. That hopefully will become a thing because we are trying to eat less processed, but total grace if you want to buy pre-made pizza dough. I bought pre-made, pre-baked pizza dough. It wasn't raw. It was just already baked. Came with little sauce packets. I was worried that they would burn or that they wouldn't work real well in the freezer cooking. It turned out wonderful. It cooked perfect. In fact, we got out one of the pepperoni pizzas and Jacob was like, that looks like a perfect pepperoni pizza. It's pretty. I mean, this is coming from a frozen pizza. It's pretty. It tasted good. It tasted like I had just made fresh homemade pizza that night. I will definitely do this. Saves money. It's cheaper than buying frozen pizza and it's a lot better. Pizzas, definitely a win. How I did those is I wrapped them in saran wrap first and then wrapped them in aluminum foil. Took both the saran wrap and the aluminum foil on, put them on a baking sheet and baked them. That's how I did that. It bakes for about the same amount of time that a normal frozen pizza bakes. Okay, the second thing, and I think I made it also for the family of 4, again, adjust for your family size. I think I made about the right amount of pizzas because the idea is that I want to make enough that's going to last me about a month, 6 weeks, depending on how long I do this. But I don't want to make too much that I'm like, oh my gosh, we just have tons of pizzas. And I think we have just a couple small little personal size pizzas left because we didn't need lunch stuff because we had leftovers. See? Other than that, I think I did it. I'll probably make a couple more this next time. Okay, the next thing I made was pancakes, and I totally underestimated this. Okay, I bought a new griddle, and I made pancakes, and they were so good. And I was afraid of freezing them because I thought they're not going to turn out so great. They're going to be soggy or whatever. Literally put them in the freezer bags, and I didn't even put them in the toaster. Like, I heated them up in the microwave for like a minute, I don't remember, minute and a half. They tasted so fresh, so good. The only downside is that I didn't make enough. I made 2 bags, and this next time, like, we went through them quick. It was the first thing we ran out of. I will probably double that and make 4 bags next time. Make the pancakes. They're good. Speaking of breakfast things, I made 2 bags of breakfast burritos. Apparently, not a lot of people eat breakfast burritos in my house. I like them, and my kids and husband like them occasionally, so we still have an entire bag left. So I won't make them this next time. We'll just have them left over. They're good. They turned out great. It's like cooking a frozen burrito. Totally. I froze them and wrapped them in aluminum foil, put them in a bag. Perfect. Unwrap them, stick them in the microwave, nuke them for a couple minutes. Yeah, I just made too many for our family. We did eat an entire bag, so I'll just not make a bag this time. And the next time, by the time I'm out of freezer meals again, I'll probably be out of those and I'll make another bag. That's how that'll work. I made a new recipe called Crock-Pot Cilantro Lime Chicken, and basically it was a raw ingredients. So you just put everything raw into a bag and then you just dumped it into the crock pot when it was time that you wanted it. It tasted fine. It was really good. It really just kind of tasted like fajitas though. And fajitas are next on my list. I'm gonna talk about those because those are quick and easy. And so while it was good, my fajitas are actually a lot easier and I'll probably just stick to them. But one thing, it did make me think, I cooked that in the crock pot and the chicken was like shredded and good, and it was really nice. So I'll probably cook the fajita meat in the chicken or in the crock pot. Yeah. Next was the fajitas. They turned out perfect. I can't tell you, like, if you're gonna freezer cook one thing, it should be fajitas. Cook the meat, cook the vegetables just a little, heat them up in the microwave. It literally takes just a couple minutes and it's like having fresh fajitas. One of my favorite things to make for freezer cooking. Love it. Well, again, I made 4 packages, 2 beef and 2 chicken, and it seemed to be, we had fajitas once a week, and it seemed to be the right amount for our family. Ground beef. Now, this is something that I do quite often is I make up ground beef and freeze it. I did try it in the crock pot this time. I am going to get an Instapot. That's what I've asked for Mother's Day. But it just turned out really soft. I overcooked it. I thought that it just wasn't done. I thought it was a little pink looking. I think it was just the way that the crock pot cooked it. Definitely done. Definitely way soft. Anyway, I think I just prefer it cooked in the skillet over the crock pot. I don't know. Maybe I just overcooked it. Let me know how you like it. it was fine. We ate it. We ate it in Korean beef. I made chili one night. We ate it. I think that there's one package left. We'll probably eat it the next night or so. So again, not unedible, just a little softer than normal. The next thing on my list was cooked chicken. Now these like freezer meats were my go-to freezer meal before. I would cook up meat just so I didn't have to make the meat. Now, another thing that I was surprised at is that these were some of the last things I used. I still have one package of chicken. I ended up making 4, I believe. And so I tended to gravitate towards the meals that were completely done. All I had to do was make sides. So the meals that were just the meat and I would have to prepare pasta or something else with, I just tended to use those last out of convenience because we were busy. So that was another pretty big surprise. Okay, the next meal was fried rice. I made 1 chicken and 1 shrimp fried rice. Now, this was the only meal that I probably won't do again. It was just, it just wasn't, the rice just was a little bit crunchy. I don't know. A lot of people freeze fried rice and it wasn't unedible by any means. We ate it. We ate the second one. All of it was ate. But I just think I prefer that one fresh. It's a little bit softer. Just a personal preference. Don't let me deter you from trying to make fried rice as a freezer cookie meal because I really do think that it would work. It's just not my favorite. Okay? But it worked out okay. We ate them both. They were good. Enchiladas were the next thing. Enchiladas, the first one turned out okay. The second one was the only meal that I ever had time to thaw out before I baked. Everything else was literally coming home, grabbing something out of the freezer, throw it in the oven or the microwave, depending on how it, cooked, and going from there. That was it. So the enchiladas, what happened is I thought I was pre-planning, right? So I thought them out the day before because I thought we were having them that night. It was like one of those crazy busy days. And so by the time I was coming home and my husband was, I think that he didn't know that I had something planned or already thought out for dinner. So the boys, my youngest loves Taco Bell, so they picked up a box of tacos. So anyway, it ended up thawing out until the next day, and they were just a little soggier than I like them. But again, not unedible. We totally ate them all. Would do it again. No problems. Just don't let it thaw out that long. Hamburger patties. This worked great. So I did this, they were just raw, just went ahead and made them into pre-hamburger patties. We had them twice, and I made enough for 2 meals. Once we had hamburgers, and the second time we had hamburger steaks, which basically I just cooked the hamburger because again it was raw, and made like mashed potatoes and gravy and a vegetable and smothered it with gravy. It was I love hamburger steak, so it's like a Salisbury type steak. Yeah, it worked out great. So you could use it for both. And then another night we had hamburgers. Love it. We used all of them. And I don't know. I didn't write down. I think I made like a dozen. I think I made 12. I think I'm going to probably make like 16 next time. The chicken Parmesan bake. This was another new recipe, and I was very worried about it. I really was concerned that it wouldn't have that crunch that chicken Parmesan have, that maybe the breadcrumbs that you sprinkle on top would get soggy. I had all these worries about this chicken Parmesan bake. Guys, it's delicious. Like, so good. I wish I had made 4. In fact, next time I will probably make 3 or 4. Yeah, so absolutely total win on that one. I'll link the recipe below because it's that good. Do it. It's good. Yum, yum, yeah. Okay, and last but not least was pre-made cookie dough. And I made 4 dozen, and I could have made, I don't know, I could have made 20 dozen and they would have all got 8. They got 8 really fast, and I've made cookies since then. But pre-made cookie dough is fantastic because you can ball it up, put it in the freezer, and just take out like a couple cookies at a time. That way your kids aren't eating 25 cookies at one sitting. My children have suddenly said that I am rationing cookies because they can only have like 2. I make enough for everyone to have 2 cookies. And so now they're like, oh, we have cookie rations. But really, they get cookies a lot more often. They're just not eating all of them one night. I don't know what they're complaining about. They're getting cookies. But anyway, guys, so that is everything. I have loved freezer cooking. It has been such a blessing for our family in so many ways. We don't have the what's for dinner, we can just grab something. We don't have the I can work, and because you all know that I work full-time, plus I have a home-based business where we do woodworking and vinyl things, and that is it's turned into about my full-time job, plus our 2 boys, a teenager and an 8-year-old, and they are constantly busy with practices, ball, school events. And then we've had prom and Mother's Day and everything, and it has just been a busy month. And so I have been very, very, very thankful that we've had all these meals. So if you haven't tried freezer cooking, absolutely try it. My suggestion, if you're new and you don't know, I just won the thing on the recipes I wasn't sure on. I just made one. So maybe you just make one of several things. Once you figure out what you really like, then you can make more. My goal is to make 5 or 6 different things and make like 4 of them till it kind of lasts us a month. Like if we ate it once a week, which we may or may not. And then again, this lasted us a month, but not all of them were dinner items. Some of them were breakfast items, some of them were snack kind of items. And so, but then by the time you have leftovers, and then I did cook a few times, it wasn't like I didn't ever make anything fresh, but again, it tastes completely fresh. It's so good and so easy, and you guys are going to love it if you try it. Anyway, try it. Let me know if you make a video or you just want to tell me how it went. Leave me a comment, and I'll see you guys next time.